Ever wondered about the biggest scandals in sports history? Well, you're in for a treat. Today, we're taking a deep dive into some of the most controversial moments that rocked the sports world. From the infamous Hand of God to the recent Tokyo Olympics COVID-19 safety concerns, we're uncovering the stories behind these events and the fallout that followed. So buckle up, because this journey is packed with twists and turns you won't believe. Let's dive right into the countdown, starting from number 10. At number 10, we have the 2021 Tokyo Olympics COVID-19 safety concerns. A global spectacle, the Tokyo Olympics was caught in the whirlwind of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The Games, which had already been postponed from the previous year, faced an uphill battle as concerns over the safety of athletes and officials came to the forefront. The decision to hold the Games without spectators was met with a wave of criticism. Many questioned the necessity of proceeding with the event amidst a global health crisis. The absence of roaring crowds, a staple of any sporting event, was a stark reminder of the unprecedented times we found ourselves in. However, the commitment to carry on showcased the resilience of the sporting community and the human spirit. This was a difficult time for the world of sports, and it left a mark on the Olympics' history. Next up at number 9 is the 2020 to 2021 European Super League collapse. A seismic event that shook the world of football to its core. Imagine this, 12 of the biggest football clubs across Europe, including Manchester United, Real Madrid, and Juventus, announced their intention to form a breakaway league. This was met with an unprecedented backlash from fans, players, and governing bodies alike. The uproar was so intense that within just 48 hours, all 6 English clubs involved had withdrawn from the project. The aftermath was just as dramatic, with fans staging protests, players speaking out, and club executives resigning. Even the governments got involved, threatening to impose sanctions on the breakaway clubs. The concept of a European Super League was seen as a threat to the very ethos of the sport. A game for all, not just the elite. This was a major shakeup in the world of football, and it still echoes today. At number 8, we have the 2020 Tokyo Olympics sexism controversy. The Tokyo Olympics faced a whirlwind of criticism for gender inequality, showcasing a deep-seated issue that's been prevalent in sports for years. The unequal treatment of female athletes and volunteers had the world raising its eyebrows. This was seen in various facets of the event, from uniform regulations to the allocation of resources and support for female athletes. The controversy reached its peak when the Tokyo Olympics chief, Yoshiro Mori, made derogatory remarks about women, causing an uproar that led to his resignation. But did this incident spark a significant change? Well, it certainly fueled a global conversation about gender equality in sports, pushing for more inclusivity and respect for female athletes. In the aftermath, the Olympic Committee pledged to promote gender equality, a promise that we hope will be reflected in future games. This scandal sparked a global conversation about gender equality in sports. Number 7 on our list is the 2019 Houston Astros sign-stealing scandal. A startling revelation that rocked the world of baseball. This scandal centered on the Houston Astros, who were found to have used technology to gain an unfair advantage during their 2017 World Series winning season. The scheme was simple, yet highly effective. They decoded the signs from the opposing teams, signaling the kind of pitch that was about to be thrown. This information was then relayed to the Astros batter, giving them an edge in the game. The fallout was considerable. Once the news broke, it sparked outrage among fans and players alike. The Astros were slapped with a hefty fine, their general manager and manager were suspended for a year, and they had to forfeit their first and second round draft picks for 2 years. This scandal left a stain on the reputation of the Astros and raised questions about the integrity of the sport. Coming in at number 6 is the 2016 Rio Olympics green pool incident. Now, when you think of the Olympics, you picture grandeur, precision, and a whole lot of planning. But the Rio Olympics in 2016 had a bit of a hiccup. The diving pool, a place of grace and athleticism, turned a startling shade of green. Yes, you heard that right, green. The culprit, a chemical imbalance. Instead of the usual sparkling blue water that you'd expect, athletes were diving into what looked more like a swamp than an Olympic pool. This raised a flurry of safety concerns. After all, athletes were diving into this water, getting it in their mouths, their eyes. The question on everyone's minds was, is it safe? In the end, the cause was determined to be a miscalculation in the amount of chlorine used. This incident was a major embarrassment for the Rio Olympics organizers, and it's one that won't be forgotten anytime soon. At number 5, we have the 2014 NFL Ray Rice domestic violence incident. This scandal came to light when a video surfaced showing NFL player Ray Rice assaulting his then-fiancée in an elevator. The graphic footage sparked an immediate and widespread outcry, with the public and media alike voicing their shock and condemnation. The NFL faced harsh criticism for its initial response, which many felt was far too lenient given the severity of Rice's actions. The incident served as a stark reminder of the pervasive issue of domestic violence, not just in sports but society as a whole. It forced both the NFL and its audience to confront the league's handling of such cases, prompting calls for stricter policies and more severe consequences for offenders. This scandal prompted a serious discussion about domestic violence and the responsibility of professional sports organizations. Number 4 on our list is the 2007 NBA referee betting scandal. Imagine watching a basketball game, cheering for your favorite team, only to find out the referee might have been manipulating the outcome. That's exactly what happened in 2007 when NBA referee Tim Donaghy was accused of betting on games he officiated. Donaghy was more than just a casual gambler. He was involved in a high-stakes betting ring, placing wagers on games he was officiating. This raised serious questions about the integrity of NBA games. How could the games be fair if the referee had a financial incentive in the outcome? The fallout from this scandal was immense. Donaghy was sentenced to 15 months in prison, and the NBA was left with a tarnished reputation. In response, the NBA implemented significant changes in how referees are monitored and disciplined, aiming to ensure that such a scandal could never happen again. This scandal shook the NBA, leading to changes in how referees are monitored. Coming in at number 3 is the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics bribery scandal. This was a scandal that sent shockwaves through the sporting world. It all started when allegations surfaced that officials from Salt Lake City had bribed members of the International Olympic Committee, or the IOC, to secure the hosting rights for the 2002 Winter Olympics. This was no small matter. The accusations pointed towards a culture of corruption and bribery within the IOC, a respected international body. The fallout from the scandal was significant. Several IOC members were expelled or resigned, and the IOC was forced to enact sweeping reforms to its bidding and selection process. The changes were aimed at increasing transparency and reducing the opportunities for corruption. Despite the scandal, the 2002 Winter Olympics went ahead as planned in Salt Lake City, but the event will forever be remembered for the controversy that overshadowed it. This scandal had a lasting impact on the Olympic movement and led to significant changes in the bidding process. At number 2, we have the 1998 Tour de France Festina affair. It was a year that forever marked professional cycling, a ride that took a detour into the shadows of deceit. The Festina cycling team, a dominant force in the peloton, was caught in the throes of a doping scandal, an illicit performance enhancement strategy that sent shockwaves through the sport. The revelation was as dramatic as it was devastating. It led to the expulsion of the Festina team from the Tour, a decision that cast a long, dark shadow over the prestigious race. But the ripples didn't stop there. The scandal triggered a widespread inquisition into doping in professional cycling, unearthing an uncomfortable truth about the prevalence of substance misuse in the sport. This scandal shook the world of cycling and led to stricter doping controls. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but it sparked a necessary revolution in the fight against doping, forever altering the course of professional cycling. And finally, at number 1, we have the 1986 FIFA World Cup Hand of God. Picture this, it's the quarterfinals, Argentina versus England. Diego Maradona, the Argentine superstar, leaps in the air and punches the ball into the net. Yes, you heard it right, with his hand. The referee, not having seen the infringement, counts it as a valid goal. The English players are in disbelief, their protests falling on deaf ears. This controversial goal, later dubbed the Hand of God, propels Argentina into a lead they don't relinquish. They ultimately win the game 2-1 and go on to be crowned World Cup champions. Now this scandal is a football legend. Maradona later admitted to using his hand, cheekily attributing the goal to a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God. This scandal is still debated today and remains one of the most iconic moments in football history. And there you have it, sports fans, the top 10 biggest scandals in sports history. From Maradona's infamous Hand of God to the controversial 2021 Tokyo Olympics amidst COVID-19, these incidents rocked the sports world. They reminded us that even in the midst of competition and glory, integrity matters. Thanks for joining us on this journey down a less celebrated lane of sports history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, keep the spirit of sports alive.